and this guy Dimebag was playing the guitar like nobody had played it before.
The legendary awesomeness of St. Dime.
If it wasn't fun, then it's not worth doing.
Motherfucker had it all.
Dime's still with us, man. They we all are.
Tell me one thing that the world does not know about Dimebag Darrell.
Dime, he's just basically Santa Claus with a pink beard. I just loved giving everybody presents all the time, and he'd light up a room. It was a toss-up between if you threw Eddie Van Halen, Randy Rhoads, and then, because his beloved Ace Frehley, so you'd have to stick Ace in there in a blender, along with Santa, because he loved giving everybody presents and making people feel good, thrown in with a lump of Blutarski from Delta when, everybody was feeling down, and he came in there, he's like, and look at everybody feeling down. He goes, look at you, he goes, you jackasses. He goes, did we get down when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
German? Forget it, he's rolling.
He goes, and we just made everybody feel better and lift their spirits up when you were feeling down. That's what's in the Dimebag drink. All those concoctions go into the Dimebag cocktail. Cool. So if you didn't know anything about Dime, that's what's going on with the legendary awesomeness of St. Dime.
I just remember him as being such a really cool guy. He was always happy. He'd always come to our shows when we played Dallas, and he'd invite us to his clubhouse, and he'd always bitch at Monkey and Head to play guitar solos. I always remember that, and he's just a great guy. It was so unfortunate that happened to them, but he'll always be remembered. He's one of the greatest guitar players ever. I mean, if it was no Dimebag Darrell, there would be no Korn, obviously. I mean, he basically helped invent that kind of groove, heavy kind of thing. So, I mean, he's definitely a guitar god in my eyes.
One of the things people don't know about Dime, he had a guitar in his bathroom. I went in his bathroom one time. I sat down, I was like, he's got a guitar, and he's got his little tape recorder. What's that doing in here? I said, Dime, what's the deal with the guitar in the bathroom? He goes, man, that's where I write all my riffs. That's why my riffs are the shit. Sitting right there on the toilet, man. I mean, he straight up told me that, and he recorded and made some of the most amazing. He would go to have a bad experience at Taco Bell and write a song about it. I mean, and all this stuff is recorded and in the vault, and at some point I think people would really enjoy hearing it. It's fun stuff, just him singing about life, things that he went through, and nobody really knows him as a singer, but he was a pretty damn good singer too, and I would like to put that stuff out for people to hear at some point. Yeah.
So if you ever had writer's block, maybe just give himself some food poisoning and hash it out.
Dude, he never had writer's block. That dude could write a song about anything. And when I said a song about Taco Bell, there's actually a song about Taco Bell. He really did do that.
You got to release that.
Yeah, man, without a doubt.
Just listen to Walk. I mean, to me, that's the epitome of just the even simpler than Back in Black. Like, it's two notes, it's two notes with that bend in it. And arguably one of the heaviest songs of all time, one of the biggest metal anthems of all time, and just the simplest. And that's the beauty of it, that a guy who had just, untouchable technical ability, and he's able to just go bump, bump. That's it. There's a song. I can imagine 1,000 other bands going, that riff's terrible. But in the context of Darrell and Pantera, they're the only ones that could have made it work because of who he was as a guitar player and his tone and his feel and his groove and the sense of fun that he injected in everything he did. Because I truly believe in all my experience with him that everything he did, whether it was the crazy shit you see on the home videos or as simple as writing riffs, everything came from a place of fun for him, because if it wasn't fun, then it's not worth doing.
Dime was a great guy, and was really... was very missed, and he's one of the few guys that on tour actually remember my birthday and gave me a pair of camouflage pants, limey green, real flashy, and I just put it away, and he gave me $100 bill signed by him, which we found it at home the other day. Our kid found it, Igor, and he wanted to spend it. He called Gloria. He's like, God, I found $100 bill signed by somebody. I want to, can I go trade it? And Gloria's like, no, that's signed by Dimebag. My best image, remember of Pantera was actually standing on the side of the stage, and his roadie had a full bar instead of instead of being a roadie, I think your qualification has to be a bartender, you know, to be Dimebag's roadie. And he was just mixing drinks, like giving the guitar occasionally, but most of it was mixing drinks and stuff, and it was just bizarre, man. That I don't know how we didn't all die on that tour from alcohol poison.
His ability to hear minute things and sounds was pretty incredible. We would many times make mixes where I would raise a fader the width of one pencil mark, you know, just a minute amount, because he could hear it a little louder. And I was thinking that nobody could hear this, but then I'd play it back for him with the different versions, and he got it right every time. He knew exactly what he wanted to hear. And my job was to try to interpret that, what he heard.
Well, Dimebag, I did meet and hang out with a bunch of times back in the day, and just one of the nicest guys. I mean, really sweet guy. I have one specific memory of hanging out with him at the opening of the Hard Rock in Orlando, and just a great night. He and myself and Zakk Wylde and Nikki Sixx and Duff and, you know, a bunch of different guys, and all just hanging out and having a great time. And he was just really cool. But he was a phenomenal guitar player, you know, too. And back then I didn't even know who he was. He was just cool. I didn't know much about Pantera. But later on, you know, he's had this a great tone and a great original style, and wrote very unique kind of riffs and whatnot. So, you know, he was one of the best new guitar players that came out over a long period of time.
No matter how hungover, no matter what he did, somehow when he would get on that fucking stage, it would click, and he would be a machine, and he could fly, actually, and not miss a note. I've seen his headstock broken off, not miss a note. I've seen him shit on stage in a bucket and hold his guitar while he was doing it. I've been around great guitar players my entire fucking life. Motherfuckers that could play the greatest of great, whatever it is. I don't give a shit. And there's different types of guitar players. Okay, there's Yngwie Malmsteens out there. Great, good for him. Does he have the soul Dimebag had? Nope. I mean, not even close. I don't give a flying fuck about sweeps. That's boring bullshit for guitar nerds. I prefer a motherfucker with soul, heart, and goddamn muscle and passion. Motherfucker had it all.
I spent a weekend at his house, and it was a pretty crazy weekend. You know, I was talking to Rita, and Rita was telling me that me and Dimebag wrote a song that weekend, but we were both so drunk, I don't remember it, but she says she has a cassette of it somewhere. He was a great guy, a lot of fun. We just had a ball that weekend. Unfortunately, we were so drunk, I don't remember too much about it. I have to talk to Rita a little more. Now, there's where we got some hookers. Vinnie Paul, I think he's got a strip club there. Yeah, so some hookers came over there at the end of the weekend, so it got a little crazy. I got a job. What do you want to know?
Well, there you go. On that note,
In front of Rita and Dimebag, they were watching.
Oh, really?
It was crazy, but I didn't care because I was kind of loaded, and so were they. So everybody was just like one big happy family.
Oh man!
Can you imagine it?
I think for me, my closer would be one of the most impactful riffs. And I mean, you can say the song's been played way too much, but I mean, rest in peace, Dimebag. He had like a magic to his playing, right? And that drum beat behind that, the boom, 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 it was like I was into hip hop at the time too, and it just, every part of them, their groove, their swing, their delivery, it was, that, to me, that was one of the most perfect eras for heavy metal to go through a change, and the perfect band to give heavy metal that wake up call of like, no, there's a new school coming in, and like this is what's going to go on. And they spawned like some of the most incredible bands to date.
His guitar playing, his style was just so unique, and I mean, I listen to Pantera all the time, and just the riffs, they're, you know.
Yeah, that band's a huge influence on us. Yeah. As a group, as a whole, we all love Pantera. I grew up with them. And I remember as a kid, they were one of the early bands that influenced me as a musician, as a performer as well. So when I saw them, just like blew my mind watching them. And they were like the opening band, you know. Yeah. No one even knew who Pantera was, but I was a kid and I saw them and I was like, shit, this is awesome.
And I just had such a big sound, you know, one guitar, and you know, just filled the whole sound of the band.
Absolutely. I mean, we obviously had no experience with Dimebag himself, but Rita's always been very sweet to us, and she visited the house and showed me some of Dime's stuff, and that was pretty amazing. So, and we always, you know, do the black tooth grin in honor of him.
In 1990, I think it was, when we were rehearsing for the Painkiller tour up in Canada, I was in my hotel in Toronto watching a show up there called Much Music. Not sure if it's still on. I turned in and I saw this guy in a British Steel shirt, you know, talking about metal and talking about his band Pantera. And just listening to him speak so wonderfully about his band, about metal, about the fans, I thought, this guy's just real. I can sense it right away. So I called up Much Music and I said, is that guy still there? And they go, yeah. I said, would you mind asking him to wait? Because I'll be there in 5 minutes. I just walk around the block. And we met for the first time, and we hit it off instantly. And that night they were playing at a little club somewhere in Toronto. And I went and jammed a couple of pre-songs with them. And I thought, this band is going to be huge. So I told the rest of the guys, I said, you know, when we do Europe, after we do the American leg, we should take this band with us. We should take Pantera to Europe with us. And everybody said, yeah, let's do it. So I remember watching them every night on the European tour, and the fans, the audience, were just like, what the fuck is this? You know, it was just so raw and primitive and real and aggressive and so new. And this guy, Dimebag, was playing the guitar like nobody had played it before.
On your personal Fender bass, you have R.I.P. Dimebag written on it.
You have great questions. I know where this is going, and I'm going to get choked up again because here it comes. The night Dime was murdered, I was in Europe with Helmet playing a show. And the news broke backstage before the show, and crying. I couldn't get home. Dime, you have to understand, Dime for Anthrax he was our fifth member. He was the next guy. He played on a lot of our records, a lot of our songs. We were very close with him. I mean, he was our brother, as he was for a lot of people, but specifically for us because he played on so much of our stuff. And we went on tour, and it's a lot of love there. So long story short, I couldn't get there. I just felt like I want to go home now. Obviously, I had to play a show that night with Helmet, but I just wanted to just leave. Can't do that. So my way, as I'm crying, because I couldn't, express this, I couldn't get there, all that stuff to be with him, to be there. I got a drill from the shop guy at the show we were playing. I said, I just need a drill, and that was my way of doing it, just paying tribute to Dime. That was that night. So from that bass you're talking about, rest in R.I.P. Dime. That was that night. That's the only way I can do something about it, right? And feel something. And all of us in Helmet, we were all just crying on stage, and especially when Paige said tribute to Dime, and it was just a moment, man. It was just another moment. Rest his soul. Dime's still with us, man. They were all there.